like a really amazing day today with squad strike and doubles. Tomorrow we have top 6 squad strike and top 6 doubles, if I'm not wrong. Plus Wave A and Wave E. Plus there's a crew battle, I think, at the end of the day 2, at the end of Saturday.
Oh, yes, I believe Solary and BMS. That is going to be ridiculous.
Yeah. And then on the third day, of course, the finals are also being played, which I believe the finals are kind of important.
Yeah, that's not important. Yeah, just a little bit important. Yeah, I mean, Sunday is going to be just an absolute roller coaster of a day. I think, we've got so much to look forward to tomorrow, but also, even with Scotch Time, it's just it's a good kind of warm-up event here. We can see the characters being locked in, and I mean, we're already seeing a really wildly different roster here. We've still got a Palutena showing up somehow.
Oh,
and a
PT.
But yeah, I mean, Bayonetta and Aegis on the same squad is a very, very interesting one. I mean, this is completely different characters there, and it'd be really interesting. Going to be starting with the Aegis here against the Wolf. Got a Pokemon Trainer and Snake on the blue team side. And then obviously the Palutena, the Bayonetta, and the Aegis on the red team. Let's lock in for game 1 here, Dras.
Let's see how it goes. I think Epsilon was Bayonetta main, but he decided to put the Bayonetta in between the two. That was something that I told you that wasn't really common.
I'm going to say we didn't even talk about that side of it, where you could put your main in the middle. You kind of you almost tease your opponent with the other characters, and in the middle, potentially lock out your opponent from their main at the start. Just suddenly whip it out. Complete change of momentum.
Yeah, the Tomberry decided to go Wolf first and Snake last. So we're going to see the opposite of what Adrian did, just putting your main character on like an anchor, as you said. And for the moment, it looks like the Wolf is doing good.
Yeah, I mean, this is where it's so important as well. Kind of just getting this initial pace going is very, very important for this kind of game mode here. And I mean, this Wolf is certainly doing the business right now for Tomberry here. But he just starting to make a comeback here. Obviously, the Mytho got so much blistering speed that can just overwhelm the Wolf here. But of course, he's got to get something going here. Getting a few straight hits. Obviously, needs at some point to essentially swap to the Pyro, which is exactly what we see. Nearly catching there, but it is just the down tilt into the up air is all it's going to take down that Wolf.
That was a very clever use of the Mithra. You had the Mithra to put the damage to throw him off stage, and then I used the fire to put a little bit more pressure on the edge, just waiting for the ledge, and he didn't touch any buttons. Tomberry didn't do anything, and that Epsilon took advantage of, just down tilt to upper to seal the first stock. But right now we see the Ivysaur win places. That's going to be a downer that doesn't connect barely, and Epsilon survives the little on day.
Yeah, I mean, that was ridiculous from Epsilon there. To dodge all of that was actually crazy. There's so many attempts at a down air there, but they're going to avoid all of it. And of course, the Aegis still live and well, still able to get all this damage, but not for much longer as that upvote comes out, but Epsilon lives.
I think Tomberry is getting a little bit desperate, especially now that the upvote hadn't gotten the stock. And this is good for Epsilon. He's just racking up damage, and that's important when you're winning. Just not to get the stock back. A lot of time has passed since Epsilon got Tomberry's first stock, and this can be very bad against Tomberry's mental.
And of course, Dras, this sort of percentage, you don't even really need to swap off Pyro. You can just go full guns blazing at this point. Obviously, you can use kind of Pyro's, Mythos, in blistering speed, but when you're 176, doesn't even matter. But you know what? We can stick with Mytho too. That works because it takes stock.
I guess both of the characters are kind of good. Well, Tomberry is on his last stock. It's not looking good for the Snake player, but of course he's a Snake main, so he knows better the character than probably anyone that's here in the coach. He decided to go game 2. He decided to go game 2.
So we're gonna forget that one happened and just move swiftly onwards. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's tough, buddy.
A little bit disastrous, yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. I feel that one. Okay, so the Mytho did a good job. Yeah, Mytho Pyro it did work. It did a lot of work.
He's not a Pyro main.
I know, that's the crazy bit. Yeah, we haven't even seen the actual main come out here. That's crazy stuff there from Epsilon. Just kind of literally overwhelm with just one character. I mean, it's good information that kind of withheld for Tomberry as well, who has not been able to see these other characters, not been able to work out any kind of game plan, and being one game down does not give you many opportunities to work it out either. So, because this is the whole thing about Squad Strike, is that obviously if you can kind of get through the stocks, face these other characters, then obviously you can start to work out a bit of a game plan. But here, the Pyramipper just did all the work. We've not seen that Bayo and that Palutena. We don't know how good they are. I don't know what kind of game plan that Epsilon has for them.
Yeah, and it's very, very disastrous for Tomberry in this case, because he's a Snake main and he lost his stock without being able to gather any information from how Epsilon plays against his main. So we're gonna see the same, I think, the same order for both of the players. No, the Wolf is switched with the PT.
Yes.
For Tomberry, so we're gonna start with the Pokemon trainer on Tomberry's side, while Epsilon will start again. As I mean, if it didn't work, don't fix it.
That's the thing, yeah. I mean, like the Pyramipper just did work there. So hey, we'll just start it. But I do like actually starting with the Squirtle here, actually. You know, just like getting that initial damage going. Because like obviously, Pokemon Trainer is like a character that is like really, really useful for just getting that initial damage going. Like Squirtle especially is very, very powerful. It's just got strong neutral, got strong combo potential, so can just get all of this going initially. So just the starter, I really like the strategy here from Tomberry and already doing a bit of work. But we have to see if we can actually get past this Pyro and Nipper first, because we've not seen it yet, Dras.
Yeah, I also like this pick by Tomberry, of course. Very versatile character. Again, the down tilt to up there, almost getting the stock. Had it been Squirtle, he would have been gone. But yeah, starting with the Squirtle kind of makes sense. You're playing against Mithra, which is also a really fast-paced character, and as Squirtle, you can just kind of match it up.
Yeah, exactly that. Like obviously, you know, being able to match slightly, you know, just Mithra's speed is very, very important. And of course, like you've got strong tools in the Ivysaur and the Charizard that you can't whip out a moment notice. But he's got to get down first, which thankfully he does with the Charizard there, but immediately met with a side B from Epsilon. Again, like still not getting so the back air does land, but it's not going to take the stock just yet. But still good plays, and I don't think, Epsilon is not going to make it back there. I love the forward tilt from Tomberry to finally put down this Pyramipper, but here we go, Dras. The Bayonetta is out.
Bayonetta is on deck, and that's his main, that's Epsilon's main. That's going to be an F-throw that dog will not get the stock. He has to jump to avoid. I like how he cuts off the route. You cannot go without using the jump, because if not, you will get hit by the guns. But of course, that doesn't matter anymore. Tomberry has lost his first stock, and it's down to his Fox.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, an SD there from Tomberry, just going to bring out the Wolf here, of course, against the Bayonetta. But still, like, a lot of chances for Tom to get back in there. But obviously, when you face off against the main, who is so strong, it's going to be very, very tough. But Tomberry just trying to make it through. Do love dash attack there. Just use the burst momentum just to kind of, you know, find an opening through this onslaught that Epsilon is throwing out. Even just using the, you know, sheer kind of power that Wolf has here. You know, trying to get some going. The neutral air just being so good as well. And just catching Bayonetta's recovery, which does, of course, poke just a little bit past the stage.
I really like Tomberry's patience right here. He's not just desperately getting those hits. Now the out smash is quite safe, so he's going to be able to survive the Nair while not selling it. A little bit of racking up damage here, and he's going to be able to survive, saving the jump into side B, putting Epsilon in a bad spot. But of course, it's Bayonetta. You can come back from the depths.
That's the thing. I love how like slow Epsilon recovered there as well, just to stall it out as long as possible, trying to avoid these forward tilts, which will be lethal in this percentage. But you know, talk about lethal, the Dura there from the Bayonetta, going to take away the stock, bringing out the Snake, which will hopefully do more than 10% this time.
Immediate, no regrets. I'm going to run up to you and I'm going to jump, and it's going to be your stock. Of course, Epsilon needs to survive as much as he can right now with the Bayonetta. Snake, I don't think he struggles to get the stocks, but if you don't approach, of course, you will not be able to seal it out. And as for now, Epsilon is choosing exactly when to go and when to go out. Finally, the backer that lasts forever, get the stock. 55% of disadvantage, that's not too much.
Yeah, got some bricks in those boots there as Snake does, of course, take down the stock here, finally bring us down to these last characters. We finally get to see what this Palutena is all about. But of course, Tomberry with the main is starting to make this comeback, like clearly kind of showing, you know, where the sort of, you know, the main in the Snake versus the secondary in just the Palutena for Epsilon kind of can make it just a huge amount of difference. But we'll have to see if it's maybe sort of too little, too late. Of course, these damages are racking high here. But I love the, you know, combo into the bomb there. Get a little bit more damage, and the C4 in the middle of the stage is going to be enough.
I have to say something negative, and I don't like it. But I don't like how Epsilon dealt with Snake. He was constantly letting himself get hit by grenades, and he racked up to 70% of damage without actually interacting with Snake a couple of times. and that's not beneficial for you when you're that even.
Yeah.
So good stuff by Tomberry, just putting a little bit more of calm play. Just I'm gonna throw you my stuff. You're gonna get hit by it. I'm gonna rack up damage until I am at C4 range, which he did perfectly.
Yeah.
But again, I don't exactly like how Epsilon played this.
Yeah, and of course, like, as we kind of mentioned right at the start, Dras, like, obviously, this is, like, showing how important sometimes it is to have an anchor. And that's exactly what Tomberry had. You know, that snake basically did the remainder of the work, and that's exactly the point of it. Like, having it right at the end, where you can just kind of, whip it out and, like, overwhelm your opponent, like, kind of show that, like, hey, I'm using my main, you're using your secondary. There's a big difference here. And to just kind of, clutch out that final game, even when you're down, is exactly why it's so powerful to have that sort of lineup with you.
And it's going to be interesting to see how they just put their characters in place now.
Yeah, this thing, I could see a change potentially.
Because Tomberry threw a curveball right now at Epsilon, and it's Epsilon turn to okay, no change at all. Oh, Tomberry goes Wolf again.
Yeah, going with the Wolf is really interesting. Maybe predicting
he was
that
predicting
Epsilon.
Something, yeah.
Yeah, I think Epsilon maybe was predicting that the payload trainer would start potentially, but it's really interesting that Epsilon is just going to keep with the same lineup. I mean, it did work in game 1. It still did work in game 2 as well before the unfortunate loss at the end there. We'll have to see if it could do work against his Prime Ripple once more.
Maybe it's because of the change of a scenario. We were in small battlefield a little bit more small than this. PS2, of course, being one of the biggest stages on the whole roster of stages we have. But of course, I don't understand why, if it's not because he was predicting some change by the part of Epsilon, I don't really understand why Tomberry chose the Wolf here.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because, like, I suppose kind of on sort of like paper, obviously the matchups aren't actually all that wildly different. Like, Wolf does okay in Fire and Mythos, but as like most Wolves generally say, I don't think they particularly love it, but I don't think they particularly hate it. Like, sort of, fairly sort of like even there. But you know what? Maybe we needed the Squirtle. Maybe we need the Squirtle. Not dead yet, but still hanging on.
Let's see. Oh, okay, that's gonna be the stock. That's beautiful comeback by Tomberry. You didn't say anything. I won't tell anyone. No worries. That's Tomberry's first stock, and this is very interesting. If he can manage to just snowball it a little bit, just bring that bayonet to a healthy percentage, like 60, 70, perhaps the Ivysaur will be able to get the stock really quickly. It's one of the only characters that can just deal with Bayonetta recovery because of their hitbox.
Yeah, and I did like the attempt from Tomberry actually to go out there with the down air. Unfortunately, it was fatal in the end, obviously, with the untechable back air stage spike that came out from Epsilon. But I do like the attempt. You've got to go for it when you're in that sort of position. Now, of course, we're locked into the Squirtle versus the Bayonetta here. The main is at a high percentage, though, Dras, so it might not be sticking around for long.
Yeah, but Squirtle is very sneaky, so you can take advantage of his smallness, his speed. But as for now, Tomberry has just immediately switched to Ivysaur, maybe potentially getting one combo that will seal the stock. And Epsilon's moving around his option. Let's see how he does, because it's very complicated to deal with. Ivysaur, as I was saying, that upper was enough to get the stock, and Epsilon is in big trouble.
Yeah, I love the patience as well, just to wait it out before finally going for that up air. Brilliant stuff from Tomberry. He was in a really good spot here. Has still got that snake waiting in the wings as well. Meanwhile, Epsilon has got to find a way to actually take down this Pokemon trainer, which is looking pretty unstoppable right now.
Yeah, and this is the thing. Tomberry has projectiles. He can just wait it out. He can just rack up damage, as we were saying before. And of course, as you said, he has the snake on deck as well. And let's see, because Tomberry needs to survive, while as Epsilon needs to get the stock. That's not going to be it yet. Full rage for the BT player, and I don't see Epsilon being able to approach.
It's so difficult as well, because like at any point, if Tomberry wants to, can just switch into Charizard just to get as much damage as he physically wants to. Of course, we've still got the potential threat of a fast character like Squirtle. No, Pokemon Trainer is such a good character in Squirtle, but the fact that you're literally got 3 characters in one by itself, so it's almost like you're playing a 6v1 right now.
Yeah, and he's not trying to. Whoa, fighting back, just a downer to upper, always on deck. You have to be careful against Ivysaur, because that's a real threat, and we just saw Adrian closing up this set with this one. Very good job by the snake main. We didn't actually see the snake in this last game, and 2-1 was for Tomberry after that disaster of game 1.
Yeah, didn't even need to slay the snake, and like obviously the potential threat was there always of like the snake, but just didn't even need to whip out. Like Ivysaur does what Ivysaur does best: take stocks, do a lot of percentage, reveal huge hitboxes.
I mean, he needs it.
Yeah,
Iverson needs it. Iverson needs
He
to
does
see
not
boxes.
need it. That
No,
counter's
that guy is broken. we don't talk about it too much.
My propaganda always is
I think we're
VT
gonna
stopped
do
there.
a little break. I think we have
okay.
a little bit of a break, and we're coming back afterwards with more Smash.
Cool.